So the first thing you're going to need to do in Cubeworld is pick your character. Now a lot of these things are just aesthetics, they're just the way it looks, but still the main thing you're going to want to change is the class, and that's the only thing that affects the actual game. You can choose any race you want, undead, frogman, human. They're all pretty much the same in every regard, they just look a bit different. Maybe in future updates they'll have an elf that's good with bows and arrows, a dwarf that's good with hammers, but right now it's just the way it looks. You have to keep in mind this is an alpha stage, so it's not going to have a lot of kind of key features that'll be put in it later on. Just remember how Minecraft was, for example, in alpha stage, and you'll know that it was pretty bare bones. This is pretty good for alpha, but just remember it is in alpha. You can choose female or male, again, makes no difference, but the class is something that's going to make a real big difference to the way you play a game. It's one of the first things you do when you start up Cubeworld, and it's one of the most important decisions you make. Because once you level up a character, you're not going to want to change it, and if you make a bad choice, you can't change to a different character when you're already higher level. So the first one here is the warrior. This guy is based on kind of strength, and he has no ranged attacks, he has no kind of area of effect, and he's not based on kind of stealth or how quick he is. He's just this kind of jarhead who runs in battles and has a giant sword. As you can see, this guy has a kind of a warhammer. That's the weapon that the ogres have. It'll do loads of damage, but that's what you're based on. You're based on damage. So if the way you like to play games is you like to run in and just hit everything in sight, then that's the class you want to go with. There are also two subclasses with every class. So the warrior has a guardian and a berserker, and I'll show you them now. So the two subclasses for the warrior are berserker and guardian. Now the berserker is based on attacks, and as you can see here, his attack speed is increased. So this is for someone who wants to run in and kind of attack everything, then get back out. On the other hand, there's a guardian who's based on defense. So he has a tougher shield by 25%, and shield block lasts twice as long. So it all depends on how you want to play the game. Do you want to go in guns blazing, attack everything, run away, or do you want to have a good shield and be able to have kind of alright attacks? Again, it's up to you. This is to help you choose your character. Rangers, on the other hand, are quite the opposite. These guys are based on range attacks, as you can tell from the bow, and they can use boomerangs, crossbows, and actual bow and arrows. Now these guys, for people who don't want to go right into combat, don't want to play it kind of stealthily in a way, and shoot from a distance. You can also equip medium armour with this character, and it's good for people who want to have a kind of supporting role in a kind of group combat type deal. Again, the ranger has two subclasses, the sniper and the scout. The sniper is based on kind of stealth, surprise attacks to do extra damage, and it's kind of akin to the rogue in that respect. However, the scout is swift combat, and it's people who want to go in and attack many times, get out, then go back, attack many times. So a sort of DPS kind of build character. Again, it's all up to you. The major tribute that changes when you change the starting class is the third skill along this little tree. So I can see if I go over here, you have aim. If I go over here, you have scout swiftness. Go over here, I'll showcase what the attacks do when you start off on level 1, just so you have a good kind of view of what it is. So you can shoot once with this, use mouse 1, and if you use mouse 2, you shoot many bullets. So again, mouse 1 is one bullet, mouse 2 is many. Problem is, when the enemies get too close to you, so let's say we're going over to him, you're kind of stuck in that regard. This guy's better for being stealthy, so I'd say go with the stealth kind of subclass if you can. Again, it's up to you. That's just what I would do. You can hold the mouse down and have stronger attacks, but to be honest, I wouldn't go with this character because until you level up, it's going to be a bit of a grind. Mages are one of the more unique classes. These guys can heal people. You can either be a war or a fire mage, depending on your preference, and they can do area of effect spells as well. So if we just boot into the game, you can see that there's, again, two sub-categories. That's the same for every character, but as I said, there's Fire Mage and a Water Mage. So the Fire special ability is Fire Spark, and the other one is Torrent. Again, it's down to preference really. I don't think there's a better idea right here. It's just like which way you want to play it. Although the Water Mage can heal allies at the same time as doing damage, so I would say that's kind of one of the benefits of being a Water Mage. The third ability on this skill tree right here doesn't change with the mages, and it's going to be teleport no matter which one you choose, so don't worry about that. The teleport is a very good ability, so I could look up there, press a button, and I would teleport on top of that pole. It's good for getting around the place quite easily. It might even be a good substitute instead of choosing the pet tree, because as pets you can ride them and go pretty fast, but with teleport I would say it's a bit more fast. I'll go over here and attack these guys and showcase what the kind of starting abilities do. If you look at Q, you see that everybody gets a potion, but if we press mouse 1 over here, we can do that, and mouse 2 does a bit of a stronger one. Problem problem is it has to charge up no matter which one you choose, so you're going to be vulnerable until you charge up your spell, so keep that in mind when you're choosing this character. This character is probably good if you're going to choose the water one, someone who stays back and heals people, and but you'll also do damage at the same time, so it's a best of both worlds, I suppose. The next class on the list is the Rogue. Now these guys are based on stealth and kind of quick attacks. They wear medium armour and can attack with daggers, fist weapons and longswords. So it's dependent on how you want to play. Daggers will probably be quick, fist weapons quick again, but longswords will slow you down but do better damage. So again, you have some kind of freedom in what kind of weapons you choose as a Rogue. And you can choose to be a heavy kind of damage based character if you so desire. The two subclasses for the Rogue are Assassin and Ninja. Now ninjas are quick melee fighters and can do counterattacks and evasion, whereas the assassin's based more on stealth. As you can see, the third ability for this guy is camouflage, and the one for this guy is shuriken attack. So if you choose a ninja, you'll have a bit of the kind of ranger abilities, because you can do ranged combat, but with this guy it's just stealth, and you'll be able to sneak past some harder enemies, but also use that in combat to your advantage. If we go and find an enemy, we'll use this bush instead. If we use this bush as an example, mouse 1 does this, so it's like a light attack, 1, 2, it's more manual, whereas this one, mouse 2, does a poison effect. And it's not a certainty, it's down to chance, but if you do a poison effect, that'll damage the enemy over time during combat. Like so. And then they'll fall over and you can do more damage, so you'll also have a chance to knock them out. This is the class that I play as. It's good for fast combat, like I said, and if that's the kind of style you want to play as, and choose this guy. So there you have it, that was all the classes in Cubeworld. Hopefully you found the right one, found which one you need to play as, and hopefully this video helped you as well. I've been Cipyaar, and I'll see you next time. Farewell.